So I recently found out that I was successful in getting onto the National Youth Theatre intake course, and I need your help to get me there. So this is actually my second time recording this video because the first time my phone decided to stop halfway. I want to start by saying I was not expecting to send this channel out to family and friends, and I can imagine it's all over Instagram and WhatsApp. But that's a good thing because I need to spread the word about this fundraiser. In my previous video, which is the first one on this channel, I explained some of my fears in making these videos and the possibility that people I know might watch them. So before you watch this, please go and watch that video. The link should pop up here and it's also available on my channel. So hopefully you've just come back after watching the welcome to my channel video and you know a few of my fears in making these videos. Now let's get on to the main video. So I'm going to get on to all the whats and the whys, but first I want to explain how all of this happened. So I actually found out about the National Youth Theatre on multiple Instagram ads, so it kept coming up on stories and posts as sponsored ads, and then I finally checked it out. But I was a bit confused by the website and what the process of auditioning was. So I ended up ignoring the ads again, but then I finally came back to it and emailed them for more information. Once they replied, I finally understood the process of auditioning. I'm very indecisive and I think I was scared of the idea of being successful and having to go on this course, but I finally decided to just go for it and try the audition process. So the auditions used to happen in person, but obviously with the current situation, it's all happening online. They said that the usual amount of applicants is around 6,000, but I assume with the online auditioning, it's probably much more because it's so much easier. So the first step in auditioning is recording a self-tape. So you answer the questions that they've given and you perform a drama monologue. So I recorded my self-tape, edited it together, then put it as an unlisted YouTube video so that they could watch it. Recording and editing the self-tape was an experience in itself and I actually enjoyed the process. Then I found out I was successful in getting onto the next stage of auditions. So I calculated that around 1,000 people got onto this second stage of auditioning. The process was a Zoom audition where you perform your monologue in front of an auditioner and answer the questions that they ask you. So I performed my monologue in front of my auditioner and she actually redirected me. So she told me to act as if I was in a busy place. Then she told me to do it as if it was a comedy. And that was a bit of a challenge because it's actually an angry monologue. Then she asked me a few questions which I answered and the audition was over. So again, the live recall audition was a good experience in itself. And I was very lucky to find out that I was actually successful in getting in. That was like an added bonus. I'd gone in with the intention of enjoying the auditioning process and I actually managed to get in. So as I mentioned, around 6,000 people apply each year and only 750 receive places, so it is quite competitive. After joining the webinar meetup, and after seeing other people's GoFundMes, I've realised I was really lucky to get in. People's reactions to getting in were really excited, and it's almost like they've been waiting years to join the National Youth Theatre. Some people have even applied every year that's possible, and they've never got in. So I realised that I've actually received a really big opportunity, and people dream of being part of the National Youth Theatre. So I'm going to do pop-ups as I go along of screenshots from documents and the website just to make my life a little bit easier. There might be points where I actually read from a screen, so sorry if I sound a bit like a robot. So now let's get on to what is the National Youth Theatre. If I'm completely honest, I only really know what's on the website and how people have reacted to getting in. So take a look at their website, I've put the link in the description and check out the About Us page. I'll quickly read a few bits from the website. So they're a youth arts charity and their vision statement is empowering young people to take the centre stage in their lives. They seek out talented, creative young people from a diverse range of backgrounds to give unique, life-changing experiences working with some of the UK's leading professional directors, writers, producers, designers and stage managers. So now let's talk about the actual course. So completing the intake course makes you a National Youth Theatre company member. There should be a pop-up right here telling you what that means, but I'll give a few main points. So it gives you the opportunity to audition for National Youth Theatre productions and take part in the Creative Leadership Programme. Now let's talk about the course in terms of the experience. So I've actually mainly been thinking about the experience of the course rather than being a member. The course is probably what I'm most excited about. So there should be a pop-up here telling you more about the course. So obviously there'll be acting and theatre. You work in an ensemble which I think is comprised of about 30 young people, and you work with a director. On my second Zoom audition, I actually asked the auditioner what kind of things you do on the course, and she said it's mainly dependent on who your director is. So because she studies clowning and comedy, that's what she would bring to the course. So it's really dependent on what your director specialises in. Now let's move on to the technicalities of the course. So a big part of the experience is staying away from home. So the actual course is in Northampton at the Royal and Derngate Theatre. And because I live about 2 hours away from Northampton, I will be staying in accommodation. I assume the accommodation will look something like this, with a basic single bed, desk, simple ensuite with a shower and toilet. There's about 8 people living on each floor and they share a communal kitchen where it's self-catering. So I'll have to do everything involved with being independent. Going shopping, cooking, washing, laundry, everything. Now let's move on to the why. So I want to start by saying a personality trait of mine is thinking about the worst case scenario and thinking about the best case scenario. And I think that's what makes me indecisive. So I don't want to share all my negatives, but a few of them you can probably guess. I am a home hog, so staying away from home and living independently is a bit of a fear. Another fear is competing with big personalities. I'm not the most outgoing person, so working in an ensemble with big personalities might be a challenge. I think the main fear is just being out of my comfort zone. So living independently, meeting so many new people, and just experiencing something like I've never experienced before. So those are a few negatives. Now let's move on to the big amount of positives. So the negatives I've said could actually be positive. Being out of my comfort zone could be a really good experience for me and help me mature in many different ways. Living independently might be something that I end up enjoying, and I might get over being a home hog. Developing my personality is a big one. I think I'll gain a lot of confidence from this experience. Everything will be new to me, I'll be living independently, meeting people, and I think that will really help my confidence grow. Also my communication skills. Meeting new people and having to make friends will help me communicate better and make connections with people. They've actually said if you're under 18, you have to go out in groups of 3, so there is actually a bit of a rush to make 2 friends. A personality trait of mine is being the boss. I am a bit controlling at times, and it can be a good thing and also be a bad thing. I think being part of an ensemble will help me learn how much you have to listen to people and work together as a team. I'll have to learn the right amount of being controlling, and I think that will be a good benefit to me. Now, acting experience. So I haven't actually had much experience in acting, only in school drama lessons and a few drama clubs which had to stop due to this situation. So I think it'll be really nice to experience some more acting and learn just how much I enjoy it. I'll obviously develop my acting skills and get used to being part of an ensemble. So while I'm editing this, I'll probably remember some of the stuff I've forgotten to mention, but all in all, I think that this could be a really great experience, and it's a great opportunity that I've been given. There's 2 parts to this experience, the actual acting course and the staying away from home. And I think that they could both be really great for me and help me grow and mature. And in terms of the negatives I mentioned, they're only negative if that's the mindset I have. I know that I have the tendency to experience something and think straight away that I'm not enjoying this and get a negative mindset. But I've decided I'm going to go in with a positive mindset and really try and enjoy the experience. I know that the first week might feel really uncomfortable because I'm so out of my comfort zone, but I'm willing to push through, give it my all, and make the most out of the experience. Now onto the bit I've avoided so far, the fees. So I'm not really sure how you can put a price on an experience, but the cost of the acting course is £450 and the cost of the accommodation is £430. So it is quite a costly experience. Before I go into the technicalities, I just want to start by saying it's always difficult to ask for money. They make it clear that they want you to try and fundraise, and my first thoughts were like, do I have to ask family and friends for money? Is it really worth it? I could get PC parts or PC peripherals, so all these thoughts were going through my head. But at the end of the day, I'm not asking for mega amounts or bulk sums. I'm only asking for what you can give, whether that's £5 to £10. So now let's get into the technicalities. So I've applied for a bursary to cover the full cost of the accommodation and a bursary to cover half the cost of the course. So that leaves £225 for me to fundraise. So obviously I've already explained the cost, which is what the donations will go to. Any extra will go towards my living costs. So food, toiletries, that kind of stuff. In the unfortunate event that I don't receive the bursaries and the funds don't cover enough of the cost, I won't be able to refund your donations. So the money will go towards better equipment for this YouTube channel. So a camera, a tripod, a USB microphone, and PC peripherals so that I have a better time editing. But obviously I hope that doesn't have to happen and that the bursary and the fees cover enough of the cost. So if you want to support me and enable me to go on the course, the link to my GoFundMe page is in the description, or you might be on the page right now. Please note that the funding goal will be more than £225 to cover the transaction fees. Whether or not you can donate, you can still support me. You can share this YouTube video, GoFundMe page, or my Instagram post. So I'll try and keep up with updates on my Instagram page and GoFundMe page regarding any news on the course or on the bursary application, so make sure you keep an eye out. Also, another thing I was thinking is that if and when I go on this course, I might try and vlog the experience, so keep an eye on this YouTube channel. It'd be really nice if you left a YouTube comment after watching this. Whether that's feedback or if there's anything I've missed or anything more you want to know, it'd be really nice to hear that in the comments. So make sure you check out all the links in the description, share this out to family and friends, donate if you want, and thank you so much for watching.